So, who is Shotti?
I don't know. Who is he?
You tell me.
You know?
Well, I thought I knew him.
I'm just an artist who tries to find like different ways to express myself. Mainly, it's through photography and mixed media art,
Okay.
I guess.
Okay, so talk me through this. How did you get into photography?
Photography actually kind of just like fell in my lap. I was doing music before that, producing, writing, and then my friends bought me a camera for my birthday.
What kind of camera?
It was like a little one of those point and shoot. It was like 2 or 3 megapixels, like a real like cheap camera.
Okay.
And I just started to take pictures with that, and I don't know. I guess like I've always been intrigued about people, and I have like a staring problem sometimes. So I think like photography was a way for me to like stare at people without staring at them in their face. So I could like take the picture, go back later home, like look at it, and kind of feel like I'm learning something about this person, or like I'm seeing something inside of them that I want to see, or and it eventually turned into like sides of a person that I saw that I wanted to like show other people.
Wow, I have a staring problem too. So I'm wondering, should I take
Maybe
up photography so I can stare at people?
You might be the next Andy Leibovitz.
What?
Or the first Emily Aiken.
Right, because I know nothing about fashion.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's not my thing. But then again, I do like landscape, but then I like raw stuff too.
Yeah.
Like everyday action, everyday people. Like when we were coming up here to your location, there was a guy in the middle of the street. Now I'm trying to think, we were on the I-95? And there was a guy, homeless guy with a sign, but right in the middle of the street. Now,
Okay,
if I wasn't paying attention, then shoot, I would have hit him. And I'm like, that would have been a great photo op.
Of you hitting him?
No, of him just of him just standing there, because that was a good picture.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There's a photographer who does crime scene photography. So there's like, this is like portrait photography, but like just like music, and how there's a whole different bunch of ways that you could use music. There's a bunch of different ways that you could be a photographer. And there's one guy who does crime scenes. There's another like famous mugshot photographer who has like all these dope mugshots from like the 30s and 40s, but it's not just like O.J. Simpson against a white wall like looking like this. It's like portraits of criminals. It's like really dope.
That's me. I want to do crime scene.
That's dope.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is all me. The white line and everything.
Yeah.
Yes, that is exactly what I would do. That sounds so bad, but it sounds fascinating as well.
That's something that people want to see, I think.
I think so too.
Yeah.
So explain to me your vision. What do you see when you're looking through the lens?
It's always different. Whenever I'm looking through the lens, it's like that instant inspiration that I look for, like that in the moment inspiration. I try not to think and plan like too ahead when I'm with a subject. Like any plans that I make is like plan B. If all else fails, if I'm not inspired, then I have this thing to fall back on.
Okay.
But I try to engage with the subject and find something that we both are kind of like presenting to the world, and then I go from there.
Okay.
So you might come to shoot with me and plan to do like this fashion shoot, but like you had a rough day, and I just see something in your eyes that's telling me like, yo, we should bring this, we should focus on this. Like your emotion that you're feeling right now will be a lot more powerful and true. I kind of like try to look for the truth.
Oh, the truth.
The truth.
Is that always easy to?
Not always. That's not always, because people are, even myself. It's like sometimes I try to put myself on the other side of the camera, because subjects tend to have a habit of focusing on the insecurities at the time of a photo shoot, and then it's hard to kind of get that natural thing. But like once you're in the groove, and I try to make my subjects feel as comfortable as possible with the current situation, and then once we're in that like zone, then we can kind of just run wild with it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I like that. I like the whole truth theory behind it.
Well, yeah, it's when you're doing a portrait of somebody, but like I like to shoot actors also, because there are some times where I do have like a vision, or there's like a thing I want to portray, and it's like I have to kind of talk to an actor who can play that role.
Okay.
And then that's where it's more about a visual art and something that you're trying to like put out visually, whatever that is.
Okay. Now, you took my photo last week, and
Which was a fun photo shoot.
it was.
Yeah.
I was a little nervous, only because it was you, and I was excited. It was like an excited, nervous kind of feel to it, just because I got to see you in your element, so it was just one of those things. But what are the do's and don'ts of photography?
From which side?
From both sides, because you told me to wear all black, and I came in with some black
with a white t-shirt.
Because I read the text message. However, I thought that shirt looked better. But yes, what are the do's and don'ts for
so
both sides?
that's the thing too. It's like I kind of provide certain things that you should or shouldn't wear, but like at the end of the day, like you should be comfortable, and whatever it is that makes you comfortable will supersede what I tell you to wear. I usually say dark colors when I'm doing like a portrait, because bright colors usually like distract from your face.
Okay.
You know, so if it's about capturing you and your facial expressions or doing a portrait, I usually say wear something that's more muted.
Okay. And then what about from your side?
That's the first time I heard the train, so I was like,
Oh.
usually I don't hear it, so I was like, okay, I heard it now, so it must be really loud. I'm sorry, where were we?
So you're going to tell me the do's and don'ts from your side.
So as a photographer, I think it's important to make your subject feel comfortable, and their insecurities could come from a bunch of different places. So that is why as a photographer, I still even try to get on the other side, and I try to shoot with other photographers and have my picture taken, so I can kind of feel like what you're feeling at the moment. What I've learned to do is like keep the dialogue open, make sure I'm talking and keeping you in the moment, which is like pretty much how you should live life anyway, like not thinking too much about the past or the future.
Right.
You plan and you make your goals and everything, but like when you're in that moment, you stay in that moment. So I try to talk to my subjects. I base the conversation on like whatever it is I'm trying to get from them. Being a photographer is almost like being a psychologist and like getting inside people's heads and learning how to pull strings to get what you want.
I didn't think about it like that.
A lot of famous photographers went to school for like, they were like psychology majors. A lot of them.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. One of my favorite photographers, Jonathan Mannion.
And what's his specialty?
He does hip hop portraiture. He shoots a lot of album covers. He's one of those photographers where like you might not know his name, but like you've definitely seen his work. If you listen to hip hop, his first job, from what I understand, was the Reasonable Doubt album cover, and then he shot like all of Jay-Z's covers up until Fade to Black.
Well,
it was cool because my sister had a bunch of posters hanging in the room, one of Aaliyah. And then I found out, like, after I had met him and I was, like, looking at his work, I found out that he had, like, taken that picture.
Okay, so people now in 2016 and probably beyond want to be an overnight success, right? So I want to know, is that a reality? Can people just pick up a camera and become a photographer?
Yeah, overnight success is real. Like, one night, your life is gonna be one way, and then the next day it's gonna be totally different. The only thing that they don't tell you is it's based on like years and like days and days and days and days and days and days before that where you had to like put in work to get to that point. So I'm still in a stage where I'm still building and growing and developing myself, my brand. But like from friends that I have that like do have a level of success, like things change for them pretty quickly, but like it took a long time to get there.
Okay, so since we're keeping it real, what are some of the sacrifices that you've had to make?
I would say I sacrifice fun in the sense of like going out and hanging out with my friends, but the things that I do I think are fun, or else I wouldn't do them, especially sometimes for no money. But like I do sacrifice like certain family moments, going out, just being like a regular person and going out to the bar. Like I don't work a 9 to 5, so when Friday comes, I don't have like the urge to go out, hit a bar and drink and kind of just release from my week, because every day is a weekend to me pretty much.
Okay.
I love what I do and like I want to keep doing it. So I miss a lot of those moments with friends, and sometimes certain things that I want to buy, like I have to worry about buying equipment instead, or like investing in myself, investing in my company. And
Okay, well, speaking of equipment, how much does all that run you?
it's expensive. But once you buy, people they see me and they see me with my camera and they're like, "Oh man, that costs a bunch of money." It's like the camera, the lenses cost a lot of money, but once I buy them, they're paid for. I don't have to worry about it. I spend a lot of money on tape.
Oh.
I spend a lot of money on batteries, background paper, like these little things that are like $10 here, $10 there, $50 here. Like that's really where stuff adds up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So when you say tape, what do you mean tape?
Like gaffer's tape. This is like a tape for everything. It's like you don't know how much you need it until you have it and start using it, and then realize like I can use this for everything. But those gaffer tapes are $30 a roll.
Okay. So where so far in your career, where has it taken you?
I've traveled to different places. I've received a bunch of free stuff from people, taking pictures, and currently, like, I'm working with a cooking show on a TV network, and I do the portraits of a lot of the chefs, and I basically go to the restaurant, watch them prepare dishes, and eat like a maniac. So just like those are like the little perks that you get. I love food, so that was like the perfect job for me, and I get paid for it, so I'm like, all right, cool, this works.
So you're never hungry?
Nope.
But you're hungry for your career?
I'm hungry in the quest for life.
The quest for life. So you've traveled where?
I don't know. Where have I been? Japan, California. Why would I say Japan and then California?
Listen.
I've been a bunch of places. I've been to like a bunch of different continents. I've been to
the next time you want to go,
Copenhagen, Europe.
The next time you go back to Japan, think of me. I travel light. I would love to accompany you.
I love Japan. Japan is one of the only 2 places that I went to for more than 10 days and wasn't crying to come back home. And then I would go back for sure. Yeah.
Where's the worst place you've been, and why would you consider it the worst place?
The worst place I've been. I try to enjoy every place that I go, and I find a piece of that place. Like any place new that I go, I'm gonna find something there that I enjoy, and I chalk it up to like the experience.
Okay.
So I wouldn't say I've had a bad experience anywhere.
Okay.
I've always come back home. I've been arrested in some places. Like if I get like locked up somewhere, then I'm gonna be like, yo, I don't want to go there. Like that's bad for me. But I've pretty much had good situations everywhere I've been.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Do you have, I call them fantasy shoots. Like, is there any particular location that you would love to do a photo shoot?
Greece.
Really?
And how quickly I came up with that, like, yeah, Greece is like, from pictures I've seen, it's such a beautiful place, and they have such a like rich culture. The food is amazing, but what I'm really interested in is like, they have these like clear, super saturated blue skies.
Go ahead. I'm gonna let you have that. Go ahead.
And normally I like clouds when I'm doing pictures.
Really?
Yeah, because it just gives a better light on the face.
Okay.
But they have these like super, super blue skies with like some village where it's like those white walls and the crazy
I know exactly
shadows.
what you're talking about.
Like
yes.
that's like my photographer dream. Like if I could get booked to go to Greece and shoot some stuff, I'll probably say like I made it.
What? And when you do, take me with you. I just listen. I don't make noise. I travel light. I just want to be in
you're the first
moment.
call.
I just want to be there. Shotgun.
Yeah.
Okay. Where do you think you'll be in 3 years?
That's a good question because I don't know where I'm gonna be in 3 months. There are certain things that aren't changing in my life, like the fact that I have a daughter. So in 3 years, like I hope to be a better father or like a better person. Certain things that I can't escape. A better business person. Like I hope that whatever business I am involved in 3 years is a flourishing one. But I kind of try to like move with the times, and my focuses change, but my direction kind of stays the same. I just want to be successful. I just want to be.
So then, during the summer when your daughter's out of school, are you able to bring her along on any of your shoots, or can you do that?
I've slowly I've kind of been introducing her to a creative way of life, and she comes and she likes to. Before she used to hate taking photos, but now I have her kind of like posing for stuff, and she likes to dance, so I'll take pictures of her dancing, and I'm trying to introduce her into becoming more familiar with what I do, because I don't think you're too young to learn how to do things.
Right.
And all of the people that I look up to, they're like David LaChapelle, when he was like 6 years old, his mom had him taking photos of her, and she would set up the light and set up the thing and just be like, here, take this, hold the camera and take the picture. So I was like kind of doing that with my nephew, who's like into a bunch of different things, and now I'm more doing it with my daughter also.
Okay, I'm doing that with my son.
Yeah.
I take him to the studio with me so he sees what I'm doing, and now he has his own show.
That's cool. That's cool. And they
His
see you
own talk
working,
show.
and they learn there are things that you do to like work, but you can enjoy them, and if you have an interest, you follow it. So you really want to kind of place them in different situations and see like where the interests lie.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He was having fun. I was having fun watching him too.
Yeah.
So you never know.
I used to be nervous about bringing, because my daughter's kind of like jumps off of stuff. It's my fault. I used to hang her upside down by her feet when she was young.
Well, then she should meet my son. Monkey see, monkey do. That's what my son does.
Yeah.
Like, if he sees somebody jump, he's going to do the same thing and have a whole ball with it.
But now that she's more, she knows like certain times where she got to chill. It's like now I feel more comfortable bringing her around and stuff.
All right. So now, every 2 weeks, tell us about it.
Every 2 weeks is like my first like major project, independent project that I brought to the world. It's a photo book of basically like Polaroids. It's a giant book, I think. Oh, here's a copy of it there. It looks more like a poster than it does
Yes.
like but it's basically 2 weeks of my life captured via Polaroid film.
Awesome. So can you tell us where you've been for that particular 2 weeks?
So that was, I can't remember what year it was because time's flying, but it was from like January to February of like 2012 or 2013. At first I kind of wanted to just capture a bunch of crazy things happening in my life for these 2 weeks. So I was making a lot of calls to people that I knew, but like kind of exaggerating the situation. That started to be kind of difficult, getting everybody coordinated, and it just didn't seem authentic. So I decided I'm just gonna go out, do the things I normally do, and bring my camera for 2 weeks. Take as many pictures as I could.
Okay.
So that's kind of what is featured in the book. A lot of people that I came into contact with, some friends, some people that I just met, places that I've been, situations that I've seen, photo shoots that I had at the time. I think it was like my daughter's birthday and during those 2 weeks, so I have some pictures of her.
Okay.
Just different kind of like, if you would look at this book, there's no way that you would think like you've been and seen and done all these things in 2 weeks. It's like...
Yeah, so you also have a documentary?
I'm working on a mini documentary of the process from like conception to actually getting the book published and printed. So I go to like the printing place and I capture all that footage, plus some of the things that I was doing to market it. Like for the release, I had a pop-up shop on Bowery in downtown Manhattan where I rented out a storefront and I basically sold my book out of that space for 4 days. I had content where people could come in and get like a closer look at some of the people in the book. So we did like video pieces on them. We had a bunch of Polaroids in the window for people walking by to see and kind of come in and check out. Just like a more in-depth look at every 2 weeks the book and the project.
Okay. Now, I was lucky enough to see the film, so I wanted to know, when do you expect the world to see it?
I'm finishing it up now. There are a couple of things that I need to get for it, but hopefully very soon we'll be bringing that to the public.
Okay, and like I told you before, off camera, if you need someone to host
Definitely.
your red carpet event, I can do that.
Yeah, I just
I'll
gotta
have
find a
stylists and
carpet.
everything. I can do
Yeah,
that.
okay.
Red carpet and everything.
All
Lights,
right.
camera, action. Of course, you're not going to take photos of yourself. So tell everyone where they can find you on social media.
It's at Shotti, pretty much everywhere on social media. Snapchat is Shotti, JSHOTTI.
Instagram,
Instagram Shotti,
Twitter,
Shotti.
for business inquiries.
Info at jshotti.com.
Okay.
jshotti.com, jshotti.tumblr.com.
That's right, that's your website,
Yeah.
jshotti.com.
And every 2 weeks, .photos
Oh,
is where you
excuse
can
me.
get the book.
Every 2 weeks, .photos. Nice. Well, Shotti, I want to say thank you so much for allowing me to interview you and sitting with me and taking time out of your busy schedule, obviously.
It's my pleasure and an honor.
And I'm very excited. You don't know how happy I am that this is your life right now. It's exciting, and I can't wait to see what else happens for you, because this is amazing.
Thank you.
So
I appreciate it.
just remember me.
Where is it? Emily, me and Emily used to work together in the movie theater, which was one of the funnest jobs that I ever had. Like,
Yes.
I mean, aside from us going to high school together, but like we used to like work together.
And sharing a locker.
Probably.
Yes.
I shared a few lockers with a bunch of people, and you were one of them.
Yeah, it was very random how he approached me and was like, he just put a book in there. It's like, okay, well, hey, we're sharing a
Didn't
locker.
ask her that, and just like, yo, hold this down for me real quick.
Exactly. So I guess I was close to one of your
It was
classrooms.
close to, so I used to have like, nobody carries books and stuff. That's not cool. So.
Time
Whoever had
out.
a locker
I did. So I guess it wasn't cool, but I
No, but
did.
Emily was like smart and like studious and stuff. You see the glasses and everything. I would, on the other hand, was not that.
Well,
And you had a locker right next to my class. So I would just grab the book, boom. And it's like, why bring the book to class? Like, thinking about it now, like, why bring the book to class if I'm not planning to even use it or... I didn't
okay,
have
but
it
how did you
before.
do homework? I never saw
That's
you
my
with a book
thing.
bag.
I didn't do homework.
Okay.
I should have, but I didn't.
No.
I wish I was.
No.
I wish I was
Are you
like
kidding me?
smart in school.
Think about it for a second. If you did homework, would you be here?
You know what? Yeah, I wouldn't change things, but like I wonder where I would be if I was like paid attention to some of the things that I should have been paying attention to.
So let me ask you this. Do you shoot? What's the proper term? Do you shoot? But you're taking photos. Like, how do I ask the question? Do you take photos? Do you shoot?
Do you shoot?
Okay.
Well, some people, that's the funny thing, because then like, even my nickname Shotti came from like when I was a teenager, just being like a loose cannon and just being like kind of like a wild kid, until I moved to Jersey and kind of got Fresh Princed out and all of that. But
No, you did not.
You know, so before, if you was like, yo, you like, and I tell somebody like I shot somebody, they kind of like not sure, like what, but no, it's photography. You say, you know, I shot somebody.
Do you shoot, like, what is it called? Boudoir Photos?
I take a bunch of pictures. I don't have an extensive public portfolio of boudoir pictures, but like.
But you do. You can.
Yeah, I can, you know, wherever the inspiration takes me. I have like a nude portrait series that I'm working on.
Oh, okay.
It's like close-ups of body parts and stuff, just the shapes that they form. I'm like fascinated with like bodies and stuff.
Hey, listen, if you can get a gallery and put all that in there.
Yeah, that's the motivation. I have a bunch of different projects that you wouldn't see reflected in like my social media, kind of, that's more like, you know, client stuff that I use to get like those type of clients. But then I have like my photos that are geared more towards art and projects that I don't plan to put out for like another 10 years, because you just have to like amass a word? Like to just gather
Yes.
an extensive portfolio of these images. Like, yeah, you know, different things creatively, especially me, kind of like being ADD, like I'm all over the place. So I'll have like 10 projects that I'm working on a little bit by a little, and just it's gonna take a while to kind of finish them.
That's how I am right now.
Yeah.
I got so many things in my mind trying to get it all down.
And it's like you should be able to do them all, but some, you know, it's like this every 2 weeks or something, and I was like, I need to do a small project quickly that I can just kind of like focus on really quick, which is why I decided to do it for 2 weeks and then just put it out. Then I found out like there's no such thing as quickly. It still took me like a year and a half to bring to the world. But like I, you know, try to focus on a bunch of different things because I get distracted quickly. I get not turned off quickly, but like my interest kind of just depletes really fast, and then I'm into something else, and then I'm like really all about it.
So let me ask you this. Is there a celebrity that you would love to photograph?
Yeah. Who is it though? For one, it's and I want to shoot them like as the characters that I know them as, but Dr. House, what's his name? Hugh Laurie. I want to shoot Hugh Laurie, and the guy who played Dexter, Michael C. Hall.
Oh.
Is it Michael C. Hall?
I think so.
Yeah. Hands down.
As himself or as?
Oh, definitely as Dexter. That was like that series was like very relatable in terms of how I like to kill people. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
I've never killed anyone before. But yeah, like I like to shoot. I think actors is kind of like my penultimate subject.
Okay.
You know, Christian Bale, American Psycho.
Yes. So this is my last question for you. If you could work on a TV set, which one would it be?
On a TV set of a show existing on
Yes.
An existing TV show. Love and Hip Hop. Just
What?
kidding. No, just kidding. I feel like I could shoot most of the people in Love and Hip Hop, like just living in New York. But
You could be like Cardi B's love interest.
I don't watch a lot of. I could be, right?
Yes, you could.
No.
Exactly.
I don't watch a lot of TV. If I could be on.
Okay, well, if you don't watch a lot of TV, then
And I'm lying. I watch tons of TV. I'm just.
What? Really?
I don't watch a lot of TV.
Well, say it's a movie set.
Okay.
Is there any actor slash director, because there are a lot of actors that do direct, like you have Debbie Allen. Is there anyone that you would love to?
Came up with Debbie Allen? Like,
yeah, because she does on Grey's Anatomy. She directs. She acts.
Wait, Debbie Allen, like the black?
Yes.
She's on Grey's Anatomy?
Yes.
From Debbie Allen from back in the day?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, she is, and she directs. Regina King.
Okay, yeah, Regina King.
She acts and directs.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. I see where we're
Denzel
going
Washington.
Okay, Denzel.
So, is there anybody that you could see yourself working with?
I would want to work with them all because I need a check. Like, no, I think that's a cool way to document history. So, all of the, like, if I would have been on the set of The Godfather, and now, 30, 40 years later, I have these pictures of like Al Pacino,
Yes.
young on set doing his thing. You know what I mean? So like, I would want to be involved in all of those things now, thinking about the future. And my grandmother tells me, because I like to take portraits of my grandmother. She's 93, or she'll be 93 in a couple of days.
Oh, God bless her.
But she doesn't like her pictures immediately. But then the next time I see her, or if it's a couple years later, she likes the photo. So it's like, photos and these portraits are for like 10 years from now, when you look back and you're like, oh damn, it's like capturing like a piece of history.
Exactly.
So yeah, I would want to be involved in everything that's happening, because you never know who's gonna be what, and you might be on set. There's some photos that I have that at the time, like it might be like a fabulous photo shoot, but then it's like somebody in the corner just throwing names out there. It could be like 50 Cent as an unknown person, but like he's a background guy in this guy's video, and then 10 years from now it's like this guy's.
And you have that photo of when he was nobody.
Yeah. So you try to treat everybody as somebody, and if you're lucky enough to capture somebody, you want to make them look as famous as possible, because you never know.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I want to say thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm running a promotion for $100 for a 30-minute photo shoot. Come through, get your photo taken, and build with me. Holla.